Alright everyone, we start off today with a mild proposition, which is that it's kind of insane to even consider voting for the Democratic Party at the moment, considering everything that's going on. Number one, chaos and disarray, so you've got a disorganized party. Number two, a litany of nonsense. The Democratic Party insiders had to have known. So people that met with Biden on a regular basis, behind closed doors, they had to have understood that he has cognitive decline on a fairly significant level, and some of them have come out and said this now at this point. But that's only because they were compelled to. They spent several years telling the American people not to believe their lying eyes, so to speak, and saying you were a conspiracy theorist if you thought that anything was wrong with Joe Biden in any way, shape, or form. Add this to the litany of shitty policies that they're pushing, completely ignoring half their constituents in the process. Actual Democrats, people that I generally wouldn't even agree with politically, ignoring them, failing repeatedly, and leading to a situation in which right now you're between the devil and the deep blue sea, so to speak, if you're a Democrat. You can stick with Joe Biden, who we now know it's fairly obvious even to most liberals he's cognitively impaired. You're either going to end up having to vote for the vegetable, and he's not going to last a second term. You know that you're electing Kamala Harris at this point if you vote for Joe Biden. That much is painfully clear. Or you can cycle him out, which means you can vote for Kamala Harris. Oh, that's a terrific choice now to have to make. It's not going to be Michelle Obama or Newsom or any of this other bullshit. About the only way that they could possibly cycle him out is to switch the ticket, actually. It's not even clear they can do that legally. He's swearing that he's going to stay in, by the way. He vowed, he said, nope, I'm not dropping. He just confirmed that the other day. So you're probably stuck with Crazy Joe. And you didn't have to be stuck with Crazy Joe. The Democratic Party could have made a contingency years ago saying, look, Joe's going to get in there, he's been nominated, that's fine, but we're going to have to figure out a way to make sure he doesn't seek a second term. Well, he's seeking a second term. By the way, at this point, several states, their cutoff for the balloting thing is already over. He can't cycle out. He can't be off the ticket in Wisconsin. The votes simply wouldn't count. He can't come off in Nevada. So you've lost that state. You can't win in Georgia, although, you're not really favored to win Georgia anyway. It's becoming a red state again. You've got screwed. I hate to tell the Democratic lay people, the 10 of them that hate watch my channel, but the Democratic Party fucked you in the ass. That's the long and short of it. They lied to you. You got cognitive dissonance, some of you. Thought that Joe Biden was fine because CNN told you so and because, Chuck Schumer said it. You've got a gerontocracy in your party that's, becoming a real big problem. It's also a problem in the GOP. Trump's not exactly a spring chicken. Mitch McConnell, nobody knows what the fuck is wrong with him, et cetera, on down the line, but it is lopsided. Nancy Pelosi, she goes off the rails all the time, although at least she's capable of stringing a sentence together. Kamala's even worse than Joe Biden, and I think that a lot of Democrats are waking up to that fact. But you got lied to by the entire uniparty because Orange Man bad. Really, the Democrats have devolved into a single-issue party at this point. We must defeat Donald Trump, mud democracy. What other plans? Can you name part of Joe Biden's platform? Should he be reelected? Here's another pitch to liberal voters. Can you tell me what Joe Biden, other than the obvious, is going to do if he's reelected? Other than probably croak in office, leaving you Kamala Harris as the unelected first female president. Oh boy, what a stain on the country's history that would be, by the way. Now, you know that inflation's not going anywhere, but that's partially Fed policy. You probably suspect that he's going to continue attempting to take care of student loan debt, something that he's repeatedly failed on, by the way. Can you name any other aspects of his platform? Another infrastructure bill? I don't know. He hasn't mentioned it. I haven't heard any suggestions from him lately. I don't even know what his fucking platform is. I know what Trump is running on. He's got his Agenda 47 thing. He puts it out mainly on Rumble. We know what he stands for. He stands for attempting to slice down the bureaucracy. After the Chevron decision, that would be a lot easier, by the way. We know that he intends to promote his own tax plan and kick that forward, renew it, and probably expand upon it. We know that he plans to, we know that he doesn't plan to attack abortion on a federal level. We know that he's more isolationist than Joe Biden. We know a lot about it. Other than what Biden has already done as a litmus test for what he would do, he hasn't said he's going to do jack shit. I don't know that he has a platform. That's the other part. The damning part of this is that it took an act of obvious dementia on a live stage in which Joe Biden didn't clearly know often what he was talking about, and sometimes it wasn't clear what he was even saying. It took that to convince a lot of undecided voters it was a bad idea to vote for him. They should have already known, simply because of the absence of a platform. You're campaigning for the presidency, but you're not telling people what exactly you intend to do. Instead, Joe Biden's platform is basically Donald Trump. Hey, look at that dude over there, felon. He endangered democracy. Well, okay, but that's not a policy. That has nothing to do with taxes, that has nothing to do with inflation, has nothing to do with anything. Joe Biden says, well, come on, man, I got a plan to tackle this here inflation. Okay, what's the plan? So far, you haven't iterated it. I don't know what the plan is. You've got a plan. Wonderful. Then if it's so great, tell people about it. Joe Biden's not even pushing himself. It's almost like at this point he's going to try to screw the Democratic Party for one reason or another. Maybe he's pulling a Hillary. And here's a possibility. I don't think it's true, but just as scuttlebutt, just as conjecture, say this would be a funny thing. You remember when Hillary Clinton was effectively shafted by the Democratic Party in favor of Obama? She started a shit list, basically. When she got in there, she's been crashing and burning Democrats left and right since then. She literally has had people taken out of politics as a result of this. That's probably why they didn't want to nominate her, because she's so vengeful, so spiteful, and self-destructive at times. Of course, knocking back those bottles better than Elizabeth Warren with the Rolling Rock. What if Biden feels shafted by the Democratic Party? And he's like, well, they're not passing all my agendas, and he gets irate about it because he gets old man anger. He's like, you know what? Fuck these shit fucks. And so he says, well, I know I'm not going to win. Yeah, I think that I'll get the felon elected on purpose because the Democrats have backstabbed me. Enjoy the next 4 years. I don't think that that's exactly the operative strategy, but it would be funny. I think that he genuinely wants to win, but God, looking at the Democratic Party right now, it's not just Joe Biden. And it's not just Joe Biden's dementia, it's also the lack of a platform. What are the Dems going to do for the next few years if they win the election? I don't know. We can guesstimate, but I don't even hear that much of a platform. Half of their platitudes that are spouted off, they're simply about Donald Trump. He's broken their minds. They are a sick, dying party. It's the sick man of the United States, the Democrats. There's a reason why RFK Jr. actually is capable of polling above 10% in certain states. That's about all. Peace out.